All right, y'all, I'm back. It's another one-on-one with a supervillain with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington. Sorry for me sounding like I'm stuttered and lost for a second, because I was. Because shit wasn't loading up like it should. But nonetheless, I'm here. As always, these are unique, and so this pretty much goes, it tracks. So I'm back again with the homie, Mr. Rudy Rueda. What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing, Jay?
I'm good, man. Just came back from Walmart, so.
Oh, there you go.
You know. Yeah. How about yourself, man? How's life?
It's been good. Sorry I missed out last month. I was not feeling great, so I appreciate you.
I always told you, and I tell everybody, like, yo, I get it. And again, I get life at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. If Smash came through, you'd have been getting this text from me telling me, hey fam, listen. But nah, yeah. I get it, man. I'm glad you are okay though now.
Yeah. It was just a real bad seasonal allergy thing. It just hit me right up here, and I was like, no, I don't want to do anything today.
Man, when I had my sinus infection, like the night it hit me overnight. Like normally it'll hit during the daytime. My sinus infection hit me overnight, and I have allergies too. So my sinus infection got so bad, I thought I had a toothache because it was pressing right here.
Oh no!
Like it wasn't this part of my sinuses or here. It was in here. So when it was pressing, I thought I had a major toothache, and I kept putting on oral gel and everything in my mouth. And I'm like, why the fuck is this not working? And then something made me go, Google, can a sinus ache feel like a toothache? And again, where your sinus cavities are, because again, you know, if you Google your symptoms anytime, you're going to find out you're dying. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, you know, everybody got cancer.
Man, you got. I was gonna be like, I got AIDS in my nose. What? I got AIDS. So, but yeah. So I understand, man. I suffer through allergies as well. And like when my allergies hit, like they hit bad. Like sometimes when I take my contacts off because of the dust and whatever that's in my contact case, because I'm irresponsible and I don't always clean out and put fresh solution in all the time because I'll be tired and forget. Yeah. So sometimes I'll do that and I'm like. How's it burning? So I get it, man. I get it. But I'm glad you're doing better, bro.
That's why I don't mess with contacts. It's too much maintenance. I like glasses. I just throw them on and I'm done.
Well, I'm trying to get a pair of glasses. Now the thing is, like when I was wrestling heavy, I couldn't wrestle in glasses, and there's this little thing called I'm blind as fuck. Oh. So like I'm nearsighted as shit. So like everything from a distance to me is always like blurry as shit. Like if something's up close and I can make it out, I can see it, whatnot. But without glasses, I'm around this motherfucker like I don't know if I could ever do a naked and afraid challenge. I know they let people wear glasses now, but if I lose my glasses in the jungle, I'm like, well, can y'all tap me out? Because they're like, why? Because if there's a snake, it's gonna kill me. I'm like,
oh no.
They're like, why would it kill you? Wouldn't you be able to see it? No, that's the problem.
They all look like sticks when you're blind.
Man, I'm like, yo, that's a wiggly ass moving stick. That stick got a mouth. A stick coming up close. Like, so yeah, man, it's really all of that and whatnot. But again, like I said, I'm glad you're okay, man. How's everything been?
It's been good. Me and my sis decided to do a deep dive on the Snyderverse. So we've been putting videos up on that. And I'm currently starting chapter 6 on the Snyder Cut movie.
Like I said, everybody knows how I feel about it. And I guess for me, I try to look at it. This is the way I've looked at it. First of all, I've looked at Zack Snyder's track record. Number one, the bar is so low, which people keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Because the Justice League theatrical version is terrible. So the bar is so low for it to be better than. But then also, I know what his shots are like. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, it's exactly what I expected.
Okay. See, I mean, you're more knowledgeable about film and all that stuff. I'm just kind of coming at it from a casual fan perspective. But for me, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, some of this stuff is good because it's filling in like plot holes and things that weren't making sense in the theatrical cut. But at the other time, I'm like, I don't know if I needed 2 more hours of this because I'm at hour 3 and I'm like, shit.
But that's what I was, and that's what I've been telling people. Like, there's a good 3-hour movie in it. It does not need to be that long. And like I get, yeah, he had to flush out Cyborg and Flash primarily because of, we didn't get their solo movies because DC was moving backwards. They were giving us the collective, then giving us the solos, which everybody was like, okay. But I get that. But as much as again, there's certain levels of exposition we just don't need.
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
And people are like, oh no, it tells the whole story. Like, no. Y'all not gonna do this. There's a reason stuff gets edited all the time. Like no director's cut per se goes in theaters. And so that was my thing. Like I said, there are some great parts to it. Again, the action that kicks up in the final act, the third act. Let's say not even the third hour, the third act. It's like, okay, I'm rocking with it. I rock with the action. But again, everybody I've seen has said that I've had the complaints. A lot of people said the same thing. He does way too many slow-mo shots. Like, it's unnecessary. There's a lot of other stuff. It's like, yo, you didn't need all it. Again, it takes almost 8 minutes for the movie to start.
Yeah.
We need to see Bruce trekking through all this shit. We don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get some things, but it's like, and then that whole scene in there with the talking to dude to Arthur, how long that shit was like, bro.
Yeah, and then he just up and admits, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Batman. FYI. I know I don't know you, but I'm Batman. And I'm like, Batman doesn't just unveil himself randomly to strangers.
I don't give a shit if you do have superpowers. Again, the him revealing who he is to Barry, I kind of get why, because you got to, because again, he's acting like, yo, can I trust this dude? Okay, I get it. But the Arthur Curry thing is like, yeah, so you just walk around doing dressed as a bat around a bunch of people.
Yeah. I had that issue in the first one. I'm like, oh, they didn't fix it in the new one. Okay, that's cool.
That was the thing. It's like Bruce has never been willy-nilly about revealing who he is. He's never been that, but
yeah, No, but don't worry. This is the Snyder cut. So this is the Snyder's version of Batman where he's gonna get raped in prison. So it's gritty. I'm like, I don't need this, man.
It's just, again, and then now the whole restore the Snyderverse. I'm like, yo, y'all keep acting like, again, Warner Brothers didn't make this Snyder cut. HBO Max and AT&T did. Now, if you take the budget, what was already, they gave him an extra $75 million to finish it. The budget already for Justice League was $300 million.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to do another movie, do you think they finna give him $400 million? Zack Snyder doesn't make the return on box office that they want. And people keep forgetting that. Warner's doing this to try to compete with Marvel, which is, we all know, is a big mistake. Like, you can't compete with a company that's been doing it close to almost 20 years now. They're 11, 12 years in. You can't compete with a company like that. You just gotta run your own race. Like, if DC would run their own race, we all be good with it. But stop trying to say we got to hurry up and catch up to Marvel. No. You know what I'm saying? And so people like, oh, they're going to give him a Snyder cut too. Who are we going to get back for it?
Cavill's out.
Affleck is done.
Out. Yeah.
Like, again, that's what people keep acting like. Who are we going to get? Again, y'all see everything from 2016 that was filmed. People acting like, again, the nightmare scene was the only thing that was done recently. And maybe a few little reshoots, but if you look at them, you're like, okay, because there's certain reshoots you can say, like, wait, am I looking at this? Is this person older in this? And you're like, okay, these are the reshoots.
Yeah.
It's fair. It happens. But again, you're not getting all them actors back.
Yeah, Cavill has showed no interest in coming back to Superman. He's done, and he's getting.
Know why? You know why, right?
No, why?
He doesn't like how Snyder does Superman.
That's cool. I don't like the way Snyder does Superman either.
He wanted him so Danny Garcia is his manager. Him and his team, they wanted creative control of Superman because they didn't like what Superman was in Man of Steel. He doesn't like the way Snyder handles Superman. Warner Brothers was like, no, we're not giving it to you. So he was like, I'm done. And then they were like, well, he's coming back for cameos. You're not getting the movie out of dude.
Yeah.
Also, his schedule.
He's got Witcher.
And he's content with Witcher.
And honestly, I think I like him better in Witcher. He's so much. I don't want to say better, but it feels like he really fills out the role better than he did Superman, and that's probably just because they know what they're doing over there at Netflix. Whereas Snyder's like, no, I just want Cavill dressed as Superman, cosplaying as Superman. I will decide what Superman does, and it feels like Henry Cavill gets more say in how Witcher is portrayed.
Yeah, and he probably is a fan of the product, of the project, of the property too.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, he brings somebody in like that, they're like, yo, I'm gonna do this, but can we have these certain things? And so everybody who's a fan of the Witcher stuff and have watched it, they're like, yo, this is the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody just feel like Cavill's the dude, but it's just like he looks like it. I'm sorry to cut you off. My apologies.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just saying, like, I played 3, like all of it, and then I started reading the books because of it. So seeing Cavill's portrayal of Geralt is so refreshing and so fun, and it's just off enough where it's still interesting. Where I'm not like, oh yeah, I've seen all these parts.
And that's the thing. And again, like, I think Snyder was on the record of saying he doesn't really like Superman. He only got Superman so he could get to Batman, which is not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he made Superman. I didn't like. I'm one of many people just like yourself who didn't like his portrayal of Superman because he made Superman A, whiny, B, reckless. Superman is never as reckless as we've seen him in Man of Steel. Never.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows Superman from the comics and from the cartoons. Superman takes a villain way out on purpose so they can minimize as much casualty as possible. This nigga just threw Zod through buildings in Man of Steel.
Yeah, me and my sister talked about that too in our review of it. We were like, he blew up Main Street, USA in Kansas to fight 3 people, didn't get any of them, and then took the fight into the city where he still didn't get anybody but one dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not Superman. Superman doesn't do that.
Like I'm a fan of 300. I'm one of those people that loved 300 when it came out. I'm not so attached to Watchmen as a property as far as the comic and the graphic novel that I was like, this movie's okay. Because again, I didn't know what it was. So it's like, this is okay. It's not the greatest thing. So I can't crucify him for Watchmen like a lot of people who were fans of it did. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Dawn of the Dead, I was like, well, they just showing Milwaukee get fucked up, and as a Chicagoan. So
fair.
So when people are like, oh, you just don't like, I'm like, no, I don't like the way he is doing this character in these movies. And also, look, you're hour 3, so you just got Superman. You just got him. There is no reason it should take 2.5 hours to get to Superman in that movie. Nope, there's no reason.
It didn't make sense why they did all the trekking and the back and forth and yeah, I like the little mini character interactions between like Diana and Alfred and Aquaman and Flash and all those little character moments are really nice, but they don't help build the story. They're just fun little quips. Like at the end of the Superman fight, at the end of the first Superman fight, Aquaman looks at Flash and points at him and is like shaking with anger, and I was like, oh, that's funny. I like that, but that's not helping. I don't need it.
So this is saying, you probably saw my review that everybody going over their mind because they're like, how dare you have your own opinion?
I didn't watch your review because I didn't watch the movie yet, and I wanted to watch the movie before
So I said another issue I have is Zack Snyder does a lot of things in this movie. Again, we just talked about him. Over exposition, slow-mo shots. He does sometimes comedy that doesn't need to be. He does all this stuff in a movie that if any other director does it, we let them have it. We criticize and crucify him. But because it's Snyder, ain't nobody willing to say nothing. And I'm like, that's not right. I get, again, the bar is compared to Justice League 2017. That is fair. And to say, compare it to this version to that, absolutely. There's a world's difference. But we got to keep it real across the playing field. If you go crucify one director for one thing, do it to the same. Again, the chicks that are singing in Icelandic and the one chick that hugs and sniffs Jason.
Oh my God.
What's the point?
Yeah.
We talked about, granted, there was a Russian family in the 2017 version that everybody was like, okay. Like, but like, okay, so we understand that was point. But again, that's pointless. It didn't lead to nothing. It didn't add to nothing. It was just there and just went on. You see what I'm saying? It's like, there are things we got to be real about everything. I think we just got to be, and I, you know, I don't want everybody, because everybody's like, oh, you just a hater. I'm like, no, I'm just being honest. Like, yo, you got to be able to say you dislike something without being a hater, but also you got to be able to say, why is it we giving it the okay for this director to do something, but not this one?
Right.
Because if the Wachowski sisters, look, we crucified the Wachowski sisters off of Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, because Revolutions was brutal. Because we gave them praise for the Matrix because they changed the game. But then we come in there and we was like, this ain't the same thing.
Right.
So we're all right now looking with a critical eye what they do in this Matrix reboot. Because at first everybody was like, if anybody does it, it's got to be the Wachowski sisters. We was like, cool. But then everybody was like, now. You know, you say, like, if anybody's going to do it, it's got to be them. And once we established that, everybody's like, now, let us remember what the last Matrix movie was we saw.
Yeah. There were some missteps there. I don't understand. Like I jumped on Twitter like 3 p.m. after the Snyder Cut got released on Thursday, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is a marvel of cinematic glory. This is the greatest thing you'll ever watch." And I understand Joss Whedon has recently been outed as the worst person alive.
The worst person alive.
And listen, he deserves to get it. If you're going to act that way, you deserve to get recognized as such and then treated as such. But don't use the failings of Joss Whedon to prop up Zack Snyder. Like, that's not fair.
Yep.
Zack Snyder has to stand on his own, and if he's not able to stand on his own, then I don't know what to say, because this movie so far just seems like where 2017 Justice League was like a D-F. Like, this feels like a C-C. Like, I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it, but I'm watching it like there's a lot of stuff I can see that could have been improved or cut out entirely.
And I agree with you with the Whedon thing. Like, I think too many people are going off the recent Whedon accusations as opposed to just saying, okay, because he made, again, this is two different directors. He has to add his flair on a dark movie, you know, because the studio brings him in. So you are going, and the studio brought him in. Why? Because he knows how to do gigantic team up movies.
Yeah.
He's successful with Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? And so he's successful with it. And so they bring him in. So when you get some lighter stuff and all this, yeah, that's what Whedon's going to bring. Now, is he hella bogus for cutting out all of Vic's story, his daddy and his mom? Yes. Yes. Is he bogus for cutting out the Barry and Iris, which everybody made it seem like it was so much more? And I'm like, okay, I get it. He saves Iris. Also, I said this, I'm going to say something to you I said in my review. Barry rubbing her face when he slowed down.
It's a little creepy.
It's creepy as fuck, but everybody thinks it's okay. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's certain shit he's allowed to do in this that nobody else can get, that we not let nobody else go. If we see that in any other movie, if we see that in a Marvel movie, we like, that's creepy as fuck. We like, it's creepy as fuck. So why are we supposed to play the, oh, everything is great? Again, if you're going to go off just the set 2017 movie alone, yeah. But everybody throwing in this whole, look, we know what Ray Fisher said. And I've been with Ray on that. I personally feel Ray was flat in this movie. I mean, yeah, we get more of his story. I just feel like he was one note, personally. But yeah, we get more of his story. And yeah, the stuff that Ray Fisher said happened. Cool. I'm with you on this. I'm with you on that. Accountability. Absolutely. Now, that's coming out. Then all of a sudden, here come the Charisma Carpenter and everybody from Buffy. Okay, cool. Now I know going forward, you a piece of shit. I'm not gonna, what you gonna tell me? I'm gonna go back and look at Avengers and all of a sudden be like, this is just bad. Or Avengers. Yeah. I've always thought Avengers Age of Ultron was a bad movie for me, but then WandaVision made me rewatch it and I was like, I get everything now.
Yeah. Marvel made Ultron good. Like, really good.
Right.
And that's
And so I think, like you said, like we said, people aren't willing to be fair with this. Again, yes, it is infinitely better. I keep telling people it's infinitely better than theatrical cut. But let's just be real. The bar is so low. That's like getting an F and quote unquote, let's say you get an F in a class, you fail in the fuck out of a class. But hypothetically, now I'm not saying this movie is that. Let's say you get a B minus or C plus. Your grade ain't nothing but a C at the end of the day. Because again, he made it seem like I'm not using nothing we didn't use. Okay, that wasn't a lot when you really think about it. The Russian family gone, and maybe one or two little scenes, little small bits. That's it that he does not use.
Yeah, that scene at the beginning with the thief that Batman hangs over the edge, that's gone.
With the parademon. Yeah, the little shit, certain shit like that. Yeah, but overall, they make it seem like Snyder made it seem like, again, he kept telling everybody, Whedon did a whole nother movie. That's the way he made it seem like, which wasn't the case.
Mm-hmm.
And again, why can't we be honest about that? Again, yeah, I think I was at the premiere of Justice League and was like, what? I remember walking out talking to Augustine Rios. Me and him looked at each other. We walked out, we said, what's up? And we looked at each other and we was like, the fuck did I just watch?
Yep. Yeah. You're reminding me, I saw a Twitter moment that somebody was like, shame on Joss Whedon for cutting this scene out. And it was that scene at the beginning where Diana tells the little girl, like, you can be anything you want to be. And I thought that was a beautiful moment, but I just don't, it just didn't feel, again, it was a beautiful moment for Diana. And then there was another scene later where Steppenwolf, who looks like the bad guy from Thor 1, like, I'll get into that later, but like she goes, Steppenwolf's like, the Amazon is mine, and then Diana's like, I belong to no one, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I feel like maybe not. I don't know. It felt out of character for Diana. I don't think she'd be like, I don't belong. She'd be like, well, then come get me then, bitch, or something like, maybe not like that, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Antagonize them.
Well, again, we don't have a wonder. So the thought process people have to go into this is at the time 2017 this comes out. Let's say this is what we got in one of two movies. Because first of all, there is no way this happens in the theater at one time. No way at all. Also, I'm gonna keep it real. Let's say, so Zack Snyder kept saying it was two movies he had, right? If you split that first movie, the odds of you getting the majority of people back to that second movie are slim because the first half is just so much. And you're like, come on. And just say, no, everything's in the second movie. It's like, nah, bro, you got to give me something here. But at this time, we don't have a Wonder Woman movie. We just know Wonder Woman from what we saw in Batman v Superman, right? Yeah. We don't have an Aquaman movie. Okay, we just got the glimpse of what we saw in Batman v Superman. Same with Flash and Cyborg. Cool. So when you gotta expand Themyscira, it's like cool, but the problem now is you expand Themyscira so much that if that comes out before Wonder Woman, you really don't look at them the same anymore. Because now you look at Wonder Woman like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like, did I need all of this there, then get the whole movie here? Like, you get what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense because now it's like, what? Okay, you're showing me Diana as a little girl. I would always be for that because I get it. To watch growing up, I want to be like the Amazons. But then it's so much, and it's like he gave you so much at Themyscira, like almost, just in case you don't get a Wonder Woman movie, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see where that top lines up.
It's just for me. Again, I tell everybody, people like, oh, you went in wanting this movie to be bad. I said, no, I went in wanting to be proved wrong. I wanted to be proved that, you can polish up something and turn it from a turd into a sparkling piece of metal. I wanted to go into that, but I'm not saying the movie's terrible, but it's not what everybody making it out to be.
No, you're right. Yeah. Everybody's just all over this movie, just fawning over it. And I'm with you. I don't understand why. Like I said, it's a serviceable movie. It's fine. You can throw it on in the background. You can go do your barbecue, talk with your friends. Nobody really has to pay attention. And then everybody like stops and says, oh, did you see that? And then they go back to their thing.
Yeah.
But this isn't. I don't know. This isn't that. This isn't what everybody's making it out to be.
Because some people, oh, it's a cinematic masterpiece.
Where?
Tell me what. Okay, if you're holding this as a cinematic masterpiece, what don't you consider a cinematic masterpiece that actually is one? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you saying? Like that is held in high regard, and that people far and wide is like, yo, this is a masterpiece. This is one of the greats. Like, what do you feel about that movie? Because don't tell me, for hypothetically, don't tell me you're holding this up to a Lawrence of Arabia.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. For many, again, these are because people consider, but again, I know people think automatically, oh, you just wanted this to fail. Nah, prove me wrong, bro. Again, I already knew everybody. I knew going into 2017, I was like, here's the issue. And I kept saying it when we were doing Trusted Sidekick podcast. I was like, yo, they haven't built up these characters to warrant a Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got to spend all of a Justice League movie building up the characters only to get a small chunk of action. Somebody literally tried to say this is better than any Marvel movie. And I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll put Winter Soldier against this any day.
Any day of the week. I'll put Winter Soldier against this any day of the week. Don't do that. Somebody was like, "Oh, he did," because there's a shot you'll see later. You've probably seen on Twitter the Joss Whedon shot that he does in Age of Ultron, where they're all together in the very beginning of Age of Ultron when they're attacking on the Hydra base, and you see him run and it goes in slow mo and it stops.
Oh yeah.
He does a shot like that. Snyder does a shot like that, and I was like, "Yo!" And people like, he did a Joss Whedon shot better than Joss Whedon. I was like, y'all do understand how long the difference is between those two movies, so naturally the shot will be better. The visual effects have evolved. Everything has changed since Avengers was done. So let's not act like, again, people like, oh, he did this better than Joss Whedon did it. Like what Joss Whedon had at the time, it was one of the coldest shots. Everybody was like, this shit is cold. Now, of course, by the time Zack Snyder gets to do this movie, cameras have upgraded, visual effects have upgraded, et cetera, et cetera. And not to mention, he gets to go back and do more with newer visual effects.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rudy, man. I just want people to be honest and not try to just make it seem like I proved you wrong. I told you so. You be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're of the same mind on the situation. Like I just want people to see, not even see this with a critical eye, but with an honest eye. Like, it's good. It's not terrible like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not better than other things. And the fact that you're putting it up on this pedestal makes you sound foolish.
Somebody said that Jared Leto's Joker is the best Joker ever. I said, see, this is why I don't take a lot of y'all seriously. Because you are not going to tell me this drawn out ass monologue that he does, you will get to it, makes him the best. You are going to tell me that he's the best Joker ever over Mark Hamill's voice as the Joker, over Heath Ledger's performance and Jack Nicholson's. Stop it. You made him look like Joaquin Phoenix is mixed with Heath Ledger's.
Nope. I think I want to say you're lying because there's no way anybody has an opinion that awful, but I know the internet and I know that what you're saying is true, and that hurts my heart.
I wouldn't have said that. I would not have said that if that wasn't true. I would not make that. That's something to eat. I'm creative. I'm very creative. I'm quick on my feet. I'm very intuitive. I couldn't have made that up if I thought about it because I don't think I never thought anybody would say that. Like, again, like, what you're really gonna compare that to? Again, we all say that. I said this before. Heath Ledger wouldn't have won the Oscar if he wouldn't have died. However, his performance still holds high. Joaquin Phoenix, people are like, some people put him up there, but some are still like, I don't know if I got to give it to Ledger more. But you're telling me, even if you use just those two, and I still ain't gonna go back to Jack Nicholson's version, you still go to, you're telling me Jared Leto's Joker is fuck out of here.
No, that's so wrong. That hurts my heart. Why would you tell me that? Why would you say that to me? I thought I thought we were cool.
I thought we were cool. I thought we were cool here. I thought this was a fun thing. But it's just like, come on, man. And then, like I said, I don't. Did you see Blurred Thursday?
No, I didn't. I was working.
Good, smart man. Because we were talking about how people are talking about they're gonna bully the execs to have them restore the Snyderverse. And like I was saying earlier, that shit's y'all really think bullying somebody gonna do it? Well, wait till they see all the streams. Again, this was only done to get subscribers. They know you for that. Again, if you look at social media, and that's Facebook, Twitter, wherever, you know you got these people who are diehard, release the Snyder Cut, release. So you know they're going to watch it multiple times. They're going to dedicate themselves to it. So the streams is going to be hot. Everybody knew the streams were going to be hot for this. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what people make it seem like, oh man, these streams are going to be crazy numbers. Yeah, because again, people want to see how much better it is than the shit we watched. The shit that comes on TNT all the time because they always air in Justice League.
It's because they got it for cheap because nobody wanted it.
And it's like, yeah, people are going to stream it like crazy. It's going to be talked about. But that doesn't warrant you getting another one. And also, if you're not getting these actors back, oh, man, we need more Cyborg. Warner Brothers will never touch him again.
Nope. Not after all the shit he pulled.
Not even DC. People think it's just DC. Warner Brothers in itself will never touch that man again. Mm-hmm. If they do, it's going to be a very long time before you see Ray Fisher do anything that's associated with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, there'd have to be a huge shakeup at the executive level for anybody to hire him again.
It'd have to be a massive, and that's not even at the DC level. That's at the Warner Brothers level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So again, you're not getting Cyborg. They've already told you he is written completely out of the Flash. So again, what do you think is about that? This dude tried to regard again. I stand by Ray. If you know what I'm saying, the shit was wrong, people support him. I stand by him. Yeah, of course. But do y'all? I mean, I tell people like, do you really think this studio finna be like, yeah, we finna work? Man, hell no. Because now they know anytime he don't get something they feel is his way, he can potentially start coming and just starting talking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus he outed them. He was like, no, they're problematic to work with. And he revealed their dirty laundry, and now they're never going to give him a job.
You air somebody's dirty laundry out, especially no matter how high up. If they can stop you from doing something with them, they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's Absolutely. Like you aired our dirty laundry. Again, the Sony execs, they got caught being racist and all this shit. See, they had to let them motherfuckers go. They were like, fuck! Because the emails leaked. They were like, fuck! Dirty laundry aired out. They still don't know who leaked. They just know it was a hack and it was gone. But there was no body attached to it. There's a face attached to this. There's a face attached to this. And again, this is the same we see. And I know people who are going to be like, well, see, this is how they do a black man. I'm like, yo, you really can't do race on this situation because anytime anybody has put out business from anybody, man, woman, black, white, whatever, they do not work with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
If you trash your employer, they're never going to don't be surprised when they don't hire you back when your contract's up.
And again,
it needed to happen, though. I'm glad he did it.
Oh, I mean, yes, absolutely. It needed to happen because, again, with it happening, it opened up the door about, which is funny, it only opened up the door about Joss Whedon. And Whedon only when they caught it because, again, there's so much behind it. There's so much with him that's like, boom. Jeff Johns still out here working. You're not letting him go. Mm-hmm. Walter Hamada is the president of DC Films. And again, why would Walter Hamada, who was put out on blast, want to work with Zack Snyder, who's a part of this that's going to be like, I need Ray Fisher? Because ain't nobody going to accept another cyborg if Snyder goes forward. Ain't nobody going to sit there and take another cyborg. Let's just be real. Yeah. They're not going to accept it.
Yeah, it's what it is. That's the whole... I didn't think we were going to take up the whole time talking about this.
I'm sorry. I'm my bad. Whatever you want.
No. I'm here for it. Honestly, like I've had these thoughts in my head for weeks now. Actually, just thinking about it. You talk to yourself in the shower while you're getting ready, and you have these conversations. So, yeah, I was like, I've just been thinking about DC, and I never understood. I was talking to a friend on Facebook. He's like, "What do you think about the DC movie?" And I was like, "I haven't seen it yet, but I'm afraid of it because all these I said nerds. I was like, all these nerds just jumped out down DC's throat, and they got the movie that they wanted, and I'm afraid they're going to accept it because it's what they asked for, but it's not what they wanted. Like they begged and whined and brigaded the internet for months and months and months, and then they finally got the announcement that it's happening, and so now they're invested. So now they feel like they have to like it, or else what was all that energy for? And I was like, that's where I'm afraid. Like I'm afraid that that's what's going to cause this. And then I heard you tell me, and what was it? Reintroduce the Snyderverse, or what'd you say?
Restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah. See, no, nobody's dropping a like 500 million, almost $500 million, or almost half a billion. Sorry, half a like $500 million. Nobody's dropping that on a movie to see if it goes further, because yeah, you can get the streams, but you're not going to get the box office. Nobody's paying for this.
Bro, I literally did. I was talking about this again on Blurs. I said Snyder's movies have not made money at the box office. I said I think Man of Steel is like 873. No, Man of Steel is like 870, and BVS is like 600. Right now, again, we all know that if DC is smart, they stop focusing on the Trinity. They literally need to stop. You have a plethora of characters. Roll with that. You keep doing Superman. You keep doing Batman. You keep doing one. You want to push Wonder Woman. Move away from that. Move away from that. So because they put out the Trinity, who they are, they're money makers when it comes to revenue for TV and shit like that. These movies were supposed to crack $1 billion a piece. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. And who does that fall on? The director.
Yeah.
So, and then people be like, well, in order to see his vision, you got to get the director's cut. No. Again, no. Tell a good story in the theatrical version. Then I need to be like, yo, is there some shit I missed?
Yeah. Like saying that makes me think like even Captain Marvel, which was like I would consider a mid-tier Marvel movie, which is still pretty high, but a mid-tier Marvel movie. Captain Marvel broke $1 billion.
Captain Marvel cracked, no matter for as much shit as people talked about Captain Marvel, it's a bad movie, all this. It cracked $1 billion.
Yeah.
A bad movie is not cracking $1 billion. Like, I don't know where people keep getting this from. Like a subpar movie, if you say a subpar movie and it hits 600-700 million and it's a comic book movie, you're like, I get it. But you're not telling me a bad movie made $1 billion?
Yeah. It's wild that people make that argument. And I'm not saying money equals good, but it definitely doesn't mean it's bad.
For me, it's you. In order to crack $1 billion, $1 billion is not first-time viewers.
No, that's repeat.
That's repeats. That's repeat viewers. $1 billion mean people saw this either twice or more.
And I saw not Endgame.
Infinity War.
No, right. Endgame. I saw Endgame 9 times in theaters. Like, I loved Endgame. I came for that.
And what Endgame at? Over 2 billion that just barely got passed by Avatar because they decided to release in China, which again is just people keep talking about Avatar and Disney doing this and that. Avatar and Marvel doing this. It's Disney no matter what.
Yeah, Disney's just like
it's us no matter what. At the end of the day, it's us. But again, bad movies, subpar movies ain't cracking $1 billion, let alone 2. Not 2 million, not 200 million, 2 billion. 2 billion.
Hard B. Hard B in front of that.
Hard ass B.
Damn. Yeah, these people are, I don't know, in my opinion, these people just they invested all their energy into getting it released, and now that they have it, they have to like it. That's I think that's where I'm at with this.
Bro, look at how professional teams, pro sports teams, will always draft a person high in the first round that they are high on, and them motherfuckers a bust. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. But to sit there and say, like, again, the reception of the movie, of course, they were going the response, the review, the number on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody knew the number for the audience score was going to be high.
Yeah.
It's things like that. But then you cannot sit there and say we're going to bully them into making another movie.
Mm-hmm.
You don't control my money. Oh, well, if you don't make that money, we're not gonna support you. How many of y'all do you really think it is to sit there and make a difference? About the same amount of motherfuckers that was hollering cancel Disney Plus when Gina Carano got fired, and these motherfuckers turned around and was like, well, we just cracked 100 million subscribers.
Yep, they cracked 100 million 9 years faster than Netflix.
I literally was just arguing with my boy about that. He was like, Disney Plus ain't putting out content according to industry standards. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, Netflix cranking it out. I said, Netflix has to. I said, Netflix is fighting for its life. It has to. Mm-hmm. All the properties that Netflix had on there, Disney, Warner, Paramount, all of them was like, give it back.
Yeah.
So Netflix has to crank out content like this. Then he was like, oh man, them numbers don't mean. I said, bro, Netflix has 204 million subscribers and was started in 1997. Disney Plus has 100 million and are barely at 2 years. Stop it.
Mm-hmm. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier came out this Friday, which I need to still watch that. I got like the first 15 minutes, but
Disney Plus, they came out. The crazy part about Disney Plus too was Disney Plus didn't launch off with saying, hey, we got these Marvel shows for y'all. They launched off with, we got a Star Wars show. And you know, when you initially hear it, you're like, yo, ain't that many Star Wars fans out there? It's a lot of Star Wars fans, but like, will it support Disney Plus? And then The Mandalorian happened, and everybody was like, Baby Yoda, baby.
We all here for listen. Baby Yoda caught us, and they just keeping us here now.
They got us. Disney Plus had a linchpin show. HBO Max didn't have that. Shit, I don't even think Paramount got one. No, Paramount does because they just took CBS All Access. So now they took Picard, Star Trek Discovery, all these other CBS All Access shows. Now they have those.
Okay.
So it's like you gotta have a linchpin, a thing you can hang your hat on. Netflix was just the thing. It was like, yo, all the favorite movies you ever want to watch are here. And then we all have been like, yo, I can watch this movie, that movie, this movie, that movie. I'm good. And then all of a sudden you started hearing, well, Netflix is losing all these movies. You're like, excuse me? Wait, what? And then Hulu comes around and you're like, Hulu got all these movies. And you're like, Hulu losing movies. But then you found out, Hulu's owned by Fox, which is now owned by Disney. So you're like, well, I'm going to get this one way or another. I'm going to get it one way or another.
Disney owns too much. Somebody needs to take Marvel from them personally.
I don't think so. I'm going to tell you why you don't take it from them. Because here's why. And I think we'll wrap it up because I know you probably got something you got to do because when you was at time.
I do. I'm going to talk off with my old man.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Here's the thing. Who else is going to invest that type of money into their movies?
No, that's fair. That's a fair point.
I think that's the biggest reason you keep it. It has to stay at Disney. Like, who else is going to invest that money?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you're going to get a return on it, but when you start doing these unknown properties, when you start coming out the gate with them, that's most people don't know about. Again, a Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man, which was Paramount at the time, but who, take that risk? But listen, like I told y'all before, we are cutting these down because, again, I'm getting real busy. And, again, some people have things to do. And it's solely for the Patreon because I learned if I flood the internet and YouTube with it, people are like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I was trying to give y'all something different. Like, Jesus. But for the people of the Patreon that want to have a conversation with you and find out about Minority Movie Report and more stuff, Rudy, go ahead and tell them how to find you.
You can go ahead and find us at Twitter at Minority Movie Report, on Instagram at Minority Movie, and I'm actually playing in a D&D show on Twitch, username Aurora0_ at the very end. You can find us there at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Mondays. So if you want to come watch me be nerdy, extra nerdy.
Always, bro. Man, I appreciate always talking with you, man. I'm glad you're
too.
doing better health wise. Hopefully, you staying on the workout shit. Because if not, I'm gonna come to Arizona and find you and whoop your ass. Because
okay,
that's motivation. Like you stay on your. Because I know you said you wanted to do it, right? So I'm like, how do I got to motivate you? I'll fight you if you ain't working.
I don't want to fight you. I've seen your wrestling clips.
But all right, y'all. We will holler at y'all later. Take care. We out of here. Bye.
Bye.